Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Jasmine and I'm your favorite online amiga, prima, and content creator. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the 5 things I knew when starting my business and becoming an entrepreneur. These 5 things have helped me so much, not only in my business, but in my lifestyle and just meeting new people, as you tend to network a lot when you're in business. But without further ado, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's get into the video because I got a lot of juicy gems for you guys in this one. So tip number 1 is presentation is everything. I can't tell you how many times at the beginning of my business, I want to say I dressed up for like a couple events or a couple networking events here and there. But other than that, I would leave out the door looking like a hot mess. And you never know who you're going to meet when you're outside, when you're at the grocery store, wherever you meet people, it matters, because that's an opportunity for you to tell that person about your business, to tell them about yourself. First impression really is everything. And that is something that, as you guys can see, I had to learn over time, because I used to get like super ready when I was in high school. And I've shared a little bit about my story before, but when I was in high school, I used to do my makeup, I used to do the full glam, I used to fully get dressed. And my mom would always make comments about, why are you getting so dressed up? Why are you getting so glammed up? That I internalized it and stopped getting ready over time. And I thought that you should only get ready for like a big event that you were getting ready to go to, or like a party. And so, not to say that my mom was wrong, but I internalized her opinions and her things that she was telling me, because she grew up in a very like low poverty environment where people didn't really get ready unless they were going to a party. So that is something that I had to learn within business, and just how you carry yourself, that it's always good to look good when you're leaving the house, or just look good anytime that you need to go out, because you just never know who you're going to meet. So that is definitely something that I would tell all my ladies and all my girls, is invest in your looks, invest in your clothes, invest in your lifestyle, invest into you, because at the end of the day, you are the most important asset. And for a long time, I didn't prioritize myself. I didn't invest in myself, because I always put everyone ahead of me, or everyone first. And I would never put myself first, because I would watch my mom never put herself first. So also analyze where that's coming from. Is it coming from your childhood? Is it coming from, just people that you used to like see growing up? But, find out where it's coming from and why you're maybe not prioritizing yourself, and just start doing it, because it's fun, and you can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. So the lesson number 2 that I learned, and everybody wants to skip around this one, is you have to learn the art of sales. I can't tell you how many times at the beginning of my business journey, I thought that the sales were just automatically going to land in my lap by making content, by, telling people about my services, or telling people in the DMs how I can help them, when it doesn't work like that. If you don't learn the art of sales or the art of persuasion, you can't help anybody else, because you're doing them a disservice by not telling them how you're special, how you're magical, and you can solve a problem in their life. This is something that I really had to learn within the last 6 months, because I joined, one of the largest sales and leadership company in the world. And something that I really learned through them is that you have to learn how to frame things. And we can have a whole nother video on sales, but without sales, you literally cannot bring any cash flow into your business. And without sales, you can't bring any clients, you can't bring any revenue, and you can't grow your team. So a lot of people want to skip this step, but you have to learn sales. Learn how to persuade people, learn the art of persuasion, and learn how to frame your words. That is something with sales that I realized that I was doing all the right steps. I just wasn't saying it in the correct order or in the correct terminology. So if you guys want a video just on sales, let me know down below, but please don't skip this step. If you guys actually want a free training on sales, leave a comment down below with the word sales, and I'll send you a free training on how to master sales and start closing more clients than ever before. This is a hard one I had to learn, but customer sales is everything. I can't tell you how many times the Latina in me or the spiciness got out of me, because, you know, coming from a Latina family or coming from a Hispanic family, we would always fight about everything. Everything that we didn't agree on became a disagreement or became an argument. And this is something I had to learn within customer sales, not only through my business, but through just past corporate jobs that I had, is that the customer is always right. It doesn't matter if they're super wrong. It doesn't matter if, you know, you got every fact in the world that they are wrong. At the end of the day, they came to us to solve their problem. They came to us because they had an issue. And in order to keep that trust with them, we have to do anything and everything to make sure that they're heard, they're understood, and that we correct the problem. Because at the end of the day, you can't run a business without clients, and your customers are the heart and core of your business. So something I had to learn with customer service is it doesn't always feel good. It doesn't always feel the best to let a customer, you know, have it their way after you know that you did everything correctly to the T or your way. But at the end of the day, if we want to keep a long running business with, you know, good morals and just good values, we have to make sure that we're helping the client. So even if the client is totally wrong, you know, find a way to say it in a nicer way, find a way to say it in a kinder way, find a way to, maybe if you can't de-escalate the situation, have another employee or have another team member, you know, deal with the client. But at the end of the day, it's super critical that you understand how to deal with all clients, even the challenging ones, because they will arise even in your business. And at the end of the day, let's just say that you have a challenging client in your business and they want to talk to a manager, they want to talk to an owner. At the end of the day, they have to talk to you because you're the CEO. And the easiest way to avoid any chargebacks, to avoid any refunds, to avoid just any situations where you could potentially be sued or vice versa, is just handle the situation, help the client, help them get their solution solved. Even if, you know, they are wrong, just help them out. And, you know, if they don't align with your business, if they don't align with your values, then that's a whole nother situation where maybe they might not have the right to work with you in the future. But at the end of the day, just solve their problem, and 9 out of 10 times it will de-escalate everything and they will walk away happy. So the number 4th one is so important. It's mindset. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first one that I said, but mindset is everything, because growing up, again, everybody's, you know, childhood is different. Everybody's trauma is different. But I know for me specifically, growing up, you know, my parents always talked about how they grew up in like really rough times. They grew up like super poor. I know my mom always grew up with like this scarcity mindset of trying to save food, trying to save clothes for her family. You know, I think I shared with you guys that my mom never really got the opportunity to get new clothes, you know, bought for her. She always had to get clothes that were sewn up by my grandma, my abuelita, or she always had to have, you know, hand downs or, you know, pass downs, and she always had to borrow other people's clothes. So because of the way she grew up, she kind of passed down this scarcity mindset to us. And I remember growing up, you know, I would never see her buy anything for herself or buy any clothes for herself. Like, she would always be taking care of other people and taking care of my siblings, that inherently I didn't realize that I got that trait, and I started thinking the same way she was thinking. So I would always be thinking in scarcity mode. I would always be, you know, just super careful about every cent that I spent, every dollar that I spent, that I realized that I was doing it in my business too. I would literally not buy business supplies or business tools or things that would actually help me grow my business or, you know, push the needle in my business, simply because I was always carrying this scarcity mindset of how am I going to get the money back? And that goes to anything in life. You know, that goes with, you know, just life. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that people are genuinely scared of success. And if you always have that mindset of being fearful or being scared, it's going to show up in every single other area in your life. So the best advice that I can tell you guys with mindset is start questioning why those thoughts come up. You know, for example, if you have scarcity to money, you know, think about why are you having that scarcity when it comes to money? Is it because you grew up seeing your parents always counting, you know, dollars, always counting cents, or always being worried about finances? You know, really ask yourself those questions to get to know yourself more, because the more that you get to know yourself in those areas, the more that you can get to know your clients and the more that you can help them. Because remember, we can't help anybody else through their situations that we haven't experienced ourselves. So sometimes the best thing I can tell you guys when it comes to mindset is, whether that be just delusionally believing in myself and knowing that it doesn't matter, I don't have to have the how right now, but I just know that I'm gonna figure it out. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I know that might scare some logical people, because logical people always wanna have like a point A to Z. But I've realized when it comes to business, sometimes you just have to have faith and believe in something that you can't even see. And I can't explain the science behind it, you guys, but it works, I promise. And maybe I'll make a whole video on mindset, but sometimes you just have to have delusional faith that your idea, your thought, your vision, your business is going to work. You are going to get that money back. Your business is going to grow. Your fitness goals will, be closer than you think. You have to have delusional belief in yourself. And the last one might seem so self-explanatory and so simple, but it's really just having discipline. I can't tell you how much I've learned this year just through discipline. And I feel like I've said that in every single video that I've recorded for YouTube, but I've learned that there's different levels to discipline. For example, when it came to my fitness, I want to say for the past 2 to 3 years, I was always working out, but I was kind of comfortable when it came to my diet. I wasn't really restricting myself. I wasn't really, counting calories. I wasn't really, keeping track of my macros or anything like that, because I didn't think it was important. But because of me not caring, it led me to gaining a little bit of weight. So your girl did end up gaining, like, I want to say 5 to 10 pounds, and I didn't realize it because I wasn't disciplined with my diet. Now that is something, when you are self-aware, you can reverse. So now I'm being more disciplined with my gym. I'm being more disciplined with my nutrition. I'm being more disciplined about what I put in my body. The same goes to every single aspect in your life. If you can't be disciplined to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to the gym, if you can't be disciplined to wake up at 6 a.m. or, take care of yourself first, how are you going to be disciplined to take care of your clients? So just ask yourself those questions. Am I really being the most disciplined that I can be, or am I being comfortable in a certain area in your life? And that doesn't mean, get up overnight and just become David Goggins overnight. But that just means, start analyzing different aspects and different, areas in your life. And maybe one week you focus on fitness. Maybe the second week you keep adding and you focus on, maybe this week you're going to be more disciplined on sending those email newsletters that you were going to send out to your community. Or maybe the next week you're more disciplined and you do more lead gen activities to bring in leads for your business. But at the end of the day, just pick one thing and keep adding from there. That's a whole nother video, but it's also called stacking skills. You don't have to do everything at once, but you can add one skill that you really want to get good at. And over time, just keep adding. Okay, you guys, those are my 5 things that I wish I knew when I started my business. I feel like in the last 2 years, those 5 things have just been a lesson that I've constantly learned over and over again. And when I tell you guys, when you don't learn a lesson, God will put you through like another lesson or another obstacle and keep showing it to your face until you learn the lesson, until you're like, all right, like I get it. And I feel like that was me the past year, where God just kept, putting so many obstacles and challenges in my life. And I realized that if I'm not disciplined now, if I'm not, just living the best life I could be, I'm sounding cheesy now, but if I'm not, forcing myself to push myself and get uncomfortable and get out of my comfort zones and be the best self that I possibly can be every single day, I'm going to end up being comfortable and staying stagnant. And that's something that I never want to do, because I have such big dreams and big goals. But for a good period there, I feel like I just stayed stagnant because I was terrified. I was frozen with fear, and I didn't know what my next step was. So anyways, I went through so many failures and through so many learning lessons the last 2 years, and I hope that helps you guys. I'm going to be making more business videos like these, so please let me know down below if this was helpful or if you want more videos like these. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. And again, my name is Jasmine, your favorite online amiga, prima, and content creator.